Hello everybody, Shadow here, and welcome back to Ghost Trick Phantom Detective. Last time, we saved this person from being crushed to death with the help of Missile. Oh, but now Missile's gone. Gone with the wind. Oh, I'm sad. Alright, well, the chicken kitchen guy left. Okay. Interesting. Well, what you gotta say? Here in this park, the gods surely control fate. Today, 10 years from that day, we meet once again. If that isn't the power of the gods, then what else is it? It could just be coincidence. But apparently, you know our lady detective here. Could you tell us about it? About what happened 10 years ago? Yes, of course. I was actually about to do just that. Alright, well that's convenient. What's this Rock of the Gods you keep mentioning? Don't you know? It's right there in front of us. Right, I kinda gathered that. Oh no, okay. So while we're talking, Lynn's going to get Missile. Missile. Oh, hi. Wait a minute. Excuse me? You said G-O-D-S, gods, but do you mean D-O-G-S, dogs? Of course not. Don't be silly. This is no time for ridiculous word games. You are standing just above the Rock of the Gods now. Take a good look at that monument. Monument? Right. Rock of the Gods, Temsky Park. The Rock of the Gods? Okay. Oh hey, it's right there. The rock is buried in the ground right there. It's been there these 10 years. Only 10 years? Ever since that day it flew down from the heavens and showed us a miracle. A miracle? Okay. So this rock you've been talking about is a meteorite? Precisely. It dropped from the sky on that day 10 years ago. Yes, of course. Surely you know all about it. Me? This is going to be fun. 10 years ago. That day, I just happened to be passing through the park. I had no idea that day would change my destiny. The sun was going down, and through the gloom, I heard the scream of a little girl. Eek! I can't do convincing screams, mostly because I have no idea what I'm doing in terms of microphone placement and microphone settings. So any attempt to scream usually results in peaking. So I'd prefer to give a half-hearted eek as opposed to giving it my all and blowing out eardrums. Or having to actually remember that I blew out the microphone for a decent amount of time and have to go ahead and edit that because I will almost certainly forget, because I always do. Now just calm down. And drop that weapon. This is Zhao talking, right? Stay back! If you come any closer, I'll shoot her! I don't know if that was anywhere close to the voice that I gave the guy before, but I don't care. I peeked out fearfully from the bushes and saw some shadowy figures. I didn't see the face of the criminal clearly. I knew I should do something to help, but I couldn't move. The tension was so thick, it was painful. Just when I couldn't stand it any longer, That's when it happened. The sky suddenly burned bluish white. Oh my. Look out! When it crashed into the ground, the meteorite gave off a shower of beautiful fragments. And then I saw it. One of those beautiful fragments pierced into the criminal's back. Hold on, So you're saying the Zhao did not kill somebody 10 years ago? Isn't that like a whole thing of his? That even though he didn't kill his wife, he killed this criminal, which means he deserves to die in his mind? Oh gosh! Oh dear. The judgment of the gods was brought down on the park that day. Right? Okay. 10 years ago, the little girl that was you was saved by the Rock of the Gods. Oh my, I can't believe it. The Rock of the Gods was given the name Temsky, and still today, it lies sleeping deep in the park's earth. I see. Temsky. I never knew about this Temsky. I always thought Detective Zhao was the one who saved me. You were very young then, and you passed out from the shock of being taken hostage. Of course you wouldn't remember. But that's funny. A huge incident like that should have caused quite a stir. It's strange you never heard of it, Lynn. It is, isn't it? But now that I think about it, I remember I didn't want to think about what happened. I avoided the news, and I never came back to this park again. That's why I didn't know anything about it. Okay, right. The meteorite was named Temsky after the name of this park that it fell in. And then the Rock of the Gods was forgotten. Right. Now, an awful thing is happening. They're talking about turning this park into a housing site. I'll never forget the miracle I witnessed that day. And so I've taken up residence in this park, and I'm trying to appeal to the people. Protect the park, the Rock of the Gods. That is my mission. Right. Well, I didn't think I'd be getting, oh gosh, I had the term in my head, but I don't remember it now. I didn't think I would be getting the whole spiel. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, I see. I'm getting really distracted. Poor Missile. You're just gonna carry a dead dog around everywhere with you? I'm taking you with me, Missile. So, 10 years ago, the little girl that was Lynn wasn't aware of the meteorite. I get that. But Detective Zhao, on the other hand, there's no way he didn't know about this Temsky thing. And if he knew, and that man died, I took his life. What was that confession of his all about? The Rock of the Gods that fell from the sky 10 years ago changed the destinies of many people's lives, like the ripples on a pond when a pebble is dropped in. Right? With every answer I get, I learn about a new mystery. Will I be able to break the chain of mysteries before dawn? Who knows? The answer is yes, because this is a game. And, I mean, there's certainly going to be certain mysteries that are not fully answered. There usually isn't. There are usually a couple of things like that. But most of the big mysteries that we're finding out about, they're going to be solved because the plot demands it. Anyway, now that we have the evidence we need, we decided to meet up again at the minister's office. Besides, there are a few things I want to ask Detective Zhao. Right. Smart. Hi! We found the music box, Detective Zhao. Good job, Lin. I knew you would. Once everything had been resolved, I had wanted you to give this to him. Him? You mean Inspector Cabanela, right? I don't suppose he'll ever forgive me. Right? Detective Zhao? Now then, let's get this thing open. There's a certain knack to doing it, you know? Wow. See? He calls that a knack? Looks more like brute strength to me. Right. Here you are. You should find scorch marks on the grip. Scorch marks? When Camilla built her contraption, she used a special kind of string. It's a kind magicians use. It burns up in an instant and disappears. Right? Why would little Camilla use something like that? I don't know. Maybe because she's a detective's daughter. Certainly possible. Not leaving any evidence behind and all that. In the case report, there was mention of some scorch marks. Right? When it happened, I don't know who's talking. I'm gonna go with Detective Zhao. When it happened, Camilla was watching from her hiding place. She saw the flame run to the gun, something she naturally didn't include in her design. Right. Yeah, okay, good. I made the right call. I took the gun out of the frame and replaced it with a picture. If you remove the picture, you should find scorch marks behind it on the frame too. And those marks should match up with the ones on the gun. In other words, it proves the contraption existed there in that room that day. Right? Okay. And it didn't work the way your little girl intended. Is that right? Exactly. Some cowardly culprit modified the design. But that... Okay, I was like... I got hung up because I read angle in my head, but I remember that the angel was like the thing that it turned when it shouldn't have turned. So I was like, wait, is it supposed to be angle or is it supposed to be angel? But that angle was never brought up in court. And so, as Justice Minister, I must call off the execution at this point. Hooray! I knew I was right. It wasn't Detective Zhao. Now we can finally prove that. Thank goodness. Thank you, Lin. In those eyes of yours, I see the eyes of that little girl from 10 years ago.
Hey, speaking of 10 years ago, you mind if we talk about that?
First, let's hear what the Justice Minister has to say. What's the matter? I just don't know. What should I have done 5 years ago? Back then, nobody had any way of knowing the true nature of the manipulator. It wasn't anybody's fault that we didn't know the truth. Do you really think so? Of course. Besides, what's important right now is deciding what to do next. Am I right? She's right, Mr. Minister. Yes. Yes, of course. I do believe she is. Oh gosh. Sorry, I'm getting like burps in the middle of my words. What is it now? I just don't know. What should I do next? You'll figure it out. We believe in you. Right? Well... Hey, Joe. I got some questions for you. Sissel, if you hadn't come to my cell tonight, I would be gone by now, without ever having known any of this. This is what I deserve. That's what I told myself these past 5 years. But things are different now. Thanks to you, my eyes have finally been opened. Tonight, I've come into contact with a lot of people's lives and gotten involved in their fates. And the only reason I was doing it was to regain my own lost memory. But things are different now. We're connected to each other somehow. I just know it. And that's why I need to ask you a few more questions, in order to find the truth about us. Fair enough. Fire away. Let's just start at the top. Sissel told me all about it, Detective Jow. About the manipulator. Yes. And it looks like this manipulator really did a number on the minister, too. Ah! Please don't pick on the minister. If he dies again, I'm the one who has to save him. Ah! Sissel, do you think that's what happened to me, too? What are you talking about, Lynn? Don't tell me. You were manipulated too? It's certainly possible. There was always a part of me that just couldn't believe it. That image of the one who shot me. No, that's me. That's me talking. That's not Lynn. But now I see the possibility of a new explanation. Right? But who is it? And why did they do it? It's certainly a good question. That contraption was a birthday surprise for Camilla's mother, wasn't it? That's right. Something's been bothering me about it. I feel like I know that device from somewhere. No surprise there. You lost your life once tonight because of that machine. Right? I knew it. See, Detective Jow? No, I'm afraid I don't see. I told Detective Jow about it. I told him about seeing the exact same contraption tonight in a completely different place. Right? It's certainly spooky. That's very strange indeed. A junkyard on the edge of town. I've never even heard of the place. And what's more, I've never told a single soul about that contraption. You haven't? That old pigeon guy. Who in the world is he? Very good questions. Temsky Park. Detective Jow, you must have heard this name before. Temsky. The meteorite that fell in the park 10 years ago. You were there. So you found out about that, did you? I heard that meteorite saved little Lynn's life. That's right. I couldn't do anything to help Lynn that day. But in that case, I don't get it. If that's true, doesn't it mean you didn't steal somebody's life away? What are you talking about? Detective Jow, you told me that 10 years ago, the person who killed the perpetrator in the park was you. What? But it was the meteorite. I wasn't lying. I stole that man's life away. No question about it. It was entirely my fault. Okay? I was just about to shoot him. I would have shot him in the next instant if the meteorite hadn't come. And at that point, I was already a murderer. Oh, so this is like, I had the intent to kill.
That makes me terrible.
That's not true. You were trying to save me. Lynn, I'm sorry, but I don't think that's really it. Huh? Okay. The truth about 10 years ago. On that day 10 years ago, a different incident happened in another place. Another place? Yes. In the police headquarters interrogation room. Oh. The worst sort of incident. A suspect who was being questioned escaped. Wow, I didn't know about that. I happened to be there in the detective division, so I joined the chase. Fortunately, or I guess unfortunately, I was able to track him down alone in the park. Hold it right there. I'm assuming that's still Jiao. Yeah, I fired a warning shot. I wanted to catch him. Bad. That warning shot made him panic. At the time, I was a young and green detective. Just like the green coat he's wearing, brandishing my sense of justice like a sword. I made him panic and got you involved, Lynn. It was all my fault. Well, that's certainly one way of looking at it. Detective Jiao, all I could see was my target. I couldn't even see you. I'm so sorry, Lynn. Okay. We do kind of still have to save Camilla. She's kind of still in that freaking suitcase. So the man who grabbed me died that day. These last 10 years. I've never forgotten his face. And then a few years after that, when my wife Alma died in such a mysterious way, I thought it was my fate. My punishment for what I'd done. It was I'd, not I've. Wait. Oh. Wait. Huh? What? Wait, hold on. Excuse me? I see where this is going. I painted pictures in my cell. Nothing but portraits of people's faces. All the faces of the many people I'd met in my life and didn't want to forget. And tonight, I finished my last portrait, the final face I wanted to remember. Yeah, okay. The final face. The face of the man in the park that day. Yep. Here it is. Okay. Was not expecting that. So, wait. How did we die 10 years ago? And tonight? I don't understand. Wait just 1 minute. That can't be. I saw that painting. I saw the face you painted tonight. It was me. It was my face. Are you telling me I was the man in the park that time? That's right. That face of yours is the face I saw 10 years ago. The face of the man whose life I stole. Of the man who was pronounced dead at the scene. But hold on, Detective Jiao. That can't be true. I just met Sissel for the first time tonight. And he died right in front of me. By the way, the name that I know the man in that park... Hold on, I don't think I read that sentence right at all. By the way, the name that I know the man in the park that day by... isn't Sissel. What? From the first minute I laid eyes on you tonight, I've been wondering, who in the world is this guy? I am so confused. Mr. Minister? Inspector Cabanela, where are you? Just be quiet and listen. Oh no! I knew you were evil! This is our demand. What? Demand? Our demand hasn't changed. The execution must be tonight. Once we've confirmed it's been carried out, we'll release the hostage. Either he is actually evil, or this is the manipulator talking. Actually, that's a oh gosh. Is Cabanela the manipulator, or is he being manipulated right now? Making us think he's evil, but in reality, he is not evil, and he's just being manipulated. Oh gosh, I don't know which is worse. What are you talking about, Inspector Cabanela? And you know it wasn't my daughter who was abducted. Does it really matter who the hostage is? A life is a life. Even if it's the daughter of a death row prisoner. Once the criminal gets the punishment he deserves, the hostage will go free. Carry out the execution immediately and wait for our call. Right. Oh gosh. What is it, Minister? What is it, Mr. Minister? You look paler than ever. What in the world? What's going on? Inspector Cabanela! The rock of the gods that fell from the sky 10 years ago twisted the fates of many people and started a chain of tragic events. And, even now, the chain continues to grow ever longer. Inspector Cabanela's call proved that to us. Right? And the greatest mystery of all has risen to the surface. Who is this me I've been chasing all night? Who am I? I'm even further from knowing that than when I started. There was a that I added. It was not in the sentence. Oops. This is getting good. I like, hold the phone. I just realized, we've done all of this? It's only been half an hour. Less than, actually. It feels like we've been going for a while, actually. Chapter 15. 10 years ago, a man named Sissel took a little girl named Lynn hostage, and then was killed by a meteorite fragment. Wait, no. The man was not named Sissel. Didn't Detective Jow say that? His name is not Sissel? I don't know. Tonight, a man named Sissel met a detective named Lynn at a junkyard on the edge of town, and then was killed by a bullet. Right? But the scene I find waiting for me on the other end of the phone line feels like the final nail in the coffin of my lost memory. Huh? What? I see. Myself. Right. His name is Sith? Wow. Okay. I'm just gonna do the same Sissel voice. Just because. Sure. There you are, Commander Sith. Finally. Sissel! Where have you been, my good man? We've been looking everywhere for you. Had a little unfinished business to take care of. Didn't think it would take this long. What about your people? They sure went out of their way to mess me up. I say, I believe we fulfilled every one of your conditions in our little deal. What right do you have to complain about anything outside our bargain? We can talk about that when we get together. This will be our last communication by telephone. will arrive in 1 hour. I look forward to seeing you, Sissel. So Sissel is the manipulator? Dawn is approaching. Dawn is approaching. The darkness surrounding my own mystery is deep, but I know it's always darkest before the dawn. Right? Oh, did we just automatically followed? Yes. We're nearing the final stages of our little deal, my good man. Yes, sir. All preparations are complete, sir. And we just had a report, sir. Lights have been spotted, sir. Have they now? By all means, let me have a look. Right. Yes. We're very close. We will now disconnect from the communication cable and have no service until we arrive, sir. Oh! You're in a submarine. Very well. Oh, not with the fruit again. Yep. There it is. Well, I think we're stuck here. No? Interesting. So how did we see that? But, okay, I don't know. Nice try, Inspector Cabanela. But you could never stop me. Oh, I like that evil smile. See ya, sucker. Alright. Well. Okay. So, that submarine guy and his people have a deal going with me, do they? If that's the case, they probably aren't the ones who killed me. Right? Anyway, there's definitely something behind the inspector's death. I think I'd better talk to him. Right. It's interesting how you're still thinking of your, that body that just walked away, clearly alive, as you. Hey, do you think you could wake up for me? Oh boy, still unconscious, eh? I guess he hasn't been dead for very long then. I'll just go ahead and go back to 4 minutes before his death. I'm a little nervous about what I might see there, though. But if that's where I'm gonna find my answers, I can't run away from it. Rewind! I feel like a lot has happened in this one episode. Once the criminal gets the punishment he deserves, the hostage will go free. Carry out the execution immediately and wait for our call. Right? That's a good boy. Gee, a hostage sure is a handy thing. It gives me complete control over the top police inspector in the country. Right? Ugh. What's the matter? All those broken bones smart a bit? What's it like to feel pain? Does it make you feel alive? Why are you doing this? Now, is that any kind of question for a top investigator to ask? Isn't it obvious? Revenge, of course. Revenge on all the people who stole my life away 10 years ago. Don't be ridiculous. It was a meteorite that stole your life. Or have you forgotten that? Wrong! I was murdered by all of you! Okay. Detective Zhao, who chased me down and forced me into a corner, even though I was innocent. Lynn, that girl who was right there when I was running. Lynn? She was just an innocent little girl playing in a park. I'm losing Cabanella's voice because as soon as I lose the like coolness, as soon as he loses his cool, I lose the voice because I can't do the voice or the voice angry just turns into other voices. If that brat hadn't been there, I never would have thought of taking a hostage. That's the most self-centered garbage I've ever heard. And finally, you, Inspector Cabanella. Me? If you hadn't done what you did, I never would have pointed a gun at that kid. And what is that exactly? You were so proud of your spotless record. And my case was the one blot on it, wasn't it? Only two people know the real truth. Me and Detective Zhao. Oh my! I bet tonight's execution will be quite a relief to you, won't it? One of the people who know about the stain on your record will disappear for good. That's why you didn't help him escape from prison. That's the kind of guy you are. I don't know what the weird emphasis on that was. I don't even know. I've got nothing to say to you. You'd never listen anyway. Oh my. Well. Ye gods. Excuse me? Ye gods. Okay. I normally hear it gads. Okay, is it the same phrase? Just the way that it's said? I don't know. Now then, Inspector. Time to make a big red stain on your spotless white coat. Hey! You can't ghost trick. That's my trick. This was another condition of my deal. To wipe out everybody who knew about Tensky. Okay. Well, revenge? That's what I'm up to? None of this makes any sense. Hey, man. Mind telling me what's going on? Inspector Cabanella? He's awake! My head is spinning, baby. Am I to understand that Cabanella character who just got shot is me? That's right. And you're supposed to be the scoundrel there who just shot me? Yeah, no, I understand how this looks, but it's complicated. I guess so? But you couldn't be, could you? Huh? After all, the guy in the red suit just walked out the door, right? So, who are you? I guess I just have to face it. I'm not that Sissel guy. I'm somebody who's searching for himself. That's why I'm here to save you. At the very least, you have information about that guy in red. Information I need. So you came on a rescue mission now, did you? Nothing like the sound of that, baby. because there's a very important life here somewhere. A life valuable to this nation. Okay, so do your thing, baby. I still hate it. I hate it so much. I hate him saying the term baby so much. It's just awkward. So you are a manipulator too? I have ghost tricks. Powers of the dead, yeah. But I can't control living creatures. Anyhoot, I think you'd better be very careful. That guy in red is a manipulator. Naturally, he knows about powers like yours. That is a very valid point. If he realizes you're here, things might get a little sticky. You're right. I'd better be careful. Okay, well, we're actually gonna stop here right at the start of this because we're a little bit under the time I normally stop at, but that's not a bad thing. So, next time, we'll be saving Inspector Cabanela from ourselves? Question mark? No, I know it's not actually us. We just think that we think we're this person, but it seems like we're not. But we'll have to figure that out later. So look forward to all that next time. Thank you all so much for watching. Bye-bye.